introduction part. Then we move to characteristics of robotic sensor, and then we have seen the types of robotic sensors. After that, we need to go into the examples of robotic sensors, starting with touch sensor, both analog and digital. Then after that, what I will do is I will quickly go to robotic vision, and in next class I will try to cover this proximity sensor. Actually, this is covered, but still I want to cover with respect to robotic application. So hope you are ready with your notebook. Now I am going into the topic of discussion. Let us have a quick recap of the things discussed in last class. In last class, we have seen, before going into robotic application, we have seen the open loop control system, the closed loop control system. I told you in both the cases the common things are controller, actuator and process. And the difference between these two controllers is, in case of closed loop control system, the additional thing is feedback and controller is accordingly acting. Come to the robotics application, it is belonging to the family of closed loop control system. That's why it is very rich in sensory system. So the motivation for robotic application is human being. The sensor system similar to human need to be incorporated in robotic application. So then I move to the discussion of characteristics. I told you these are the 4 important points falling in the characteristics of robotic sensor. The first one is, this type of sensor should be able to precisely estimate the robot's condition and its environment. Then these signals, that is the condition, robot's condition and its environment, sensing by the robot sensor is called a signal here. So these signals are passed to a controller to enable appropriate behavior. Similar to our system, our sensory system is giving sense information to our brain. Brain is actually acting as a controller, so and then it initiate appropriate control action. So then the next characteristics of robotic sensor is, they are actually based on human sensory organs, as I already told you. Robots require extensive information about the environment in order to function effectively. This is actually the additional point need to be mentioned under the characteristics. These sensors are not conventional sensors because these sensors are extracting information similar to the human sensory functions, sensory organs functions. So which give extensive information to human brain. Similarly, the robotic sensor should also give extensive information from its environment in order to perform the required function of robot effectively. Then I have shown you the classification of robotic sensor. I told you basically there are 2 types of robotic sensor. One is internal, which take care of basic working of the system, like the position, where to go, how much should be the speed. So related to that, if the sensors are used, then they are called as internal sensors. External sensors means which are interacting with the environment, like seeing the image in the environment and seeing how much is the force coming on it. So that type of sensors, if suppose placed, then they are called as external sensors. So after that, I have given one more slide in order to explain more clearly the difference between internal and external sensor. So position sensor, velocity sensor, acceleration sensor can fall in internal sensors category. So we can determine position, we can determine velocity with the help of potentiometer, encoder, LVDT and tachometer. Already I discussed in last class. And acceleration can be determined with accelerometer. Then we move to the discussion of external sensors. So in that, a few are listed like touch sensor, force sensor, pressure sensor, proximity sensor, vision sensors. So this is about first and second discussion. Now the third topic we will discuss in today's class. Please take down in your notebook this heading: touch or tactile sensor, comma, binary and analog sensors. Okay, touch sensor. What do you understand from the term touch? Touch sensor. See, I'm touching the screen. So that type of sensation, if you want to get only, suppose we have a sensor which give information whether it is touched with some object or not in the form of 0 or 1. It is called as touch sensor. So before going into detailed discussion, let us first see the meaning of touch sensor. Why it is needed for robotic application? Because the robots are moving on a road or on some plane, right? So in that case, there is a need to know whether it is touching with some environmental object or not. That is the reason touch sensor is needed. So, so many type of touching information we needed. That's why we have categorized the touch sensor into two types. One is binary touch sensor. Another one more complex analog touch sensor. Binary touch sensor means whether it is touching the physical object or not. Accordingly, it is giving the output 0 or 1. 0 means no touch. 1 means yes touch, meaning the robot made a contact with the environment. How about analog touch sensors? Analog touch sensor means if suppose the output set is not only two numbers, but it is containing many numbers. So many outputs are there, like output 0, output 1, so on up to output n. N outputs are there. In that case, we use analog touch sensor, which is more complex sensor, which give information about the touch sensation in analog form, like the more output variations. I think you understand the difference between binary and analog. Binary actually it should be called as digital also, no problem. You can also call as digital or binary. Okay, digital or binary. So this to give information, output information in only two state: yes, no, or yes. Whereas analog sensor give output in many different ways. Example I can take. See, if suppose simple example if I take, then I can call it to be okay. Suppose we have four sets of output. This set is maximum touch, and this is minimum touch, and the two more in between. Okay, more than minimum, and this one less than maximum. Okay, in that way, so many different ways of giving information. Like this, I'm going to discuss touch sensor in two categories. One is binary, another one analog. If it is clear to everybody, if you have taken this thing, then I will move to next slide and discuss touch sensor. Simple touch sensor, which is binary touch sensor. Now, this is simple touch sensor or binary touch sensor or digital touch sensor. So its intention is to indicate output in the form of 0 or 1. 0 means no touch. 1 means yes touch. So input is what? Input is contact with the environment. Environmental contact. And output is this. This is input. And this is output. And this is our simple touch sensor. and this is the circuit diagram. Okay, let us see the circuit diagram. This is our transistor. Okay, so this is base, this is emitter, and this is collector. So the current flow from collector to emitter only if base is forward bias. Agree or not? I want answer from your side. Current flow from collector to emitter only if this junction is forward bias. How can we make this forward bias? It's very simple. Just close this circuit. If we close this circuit, you see the VEE or VCC, which is 9 volts, coming through this particular conductor. Okay, let us suppose that this conductor is having some load resistance RL. Okay, with that it is making the contact and letting the base to emitter junction get forward bias. In that case, what happened? This LED glows. Agree or not? Right? This LED blink if current flow from emitter collector to emitter. When this happens when this junction is forward bias. This junction get forward bias if we close this circuit. If we close this circuit, IC current flow through this transistor and gets the ground and circuit is closed. If circuit is closed, this LED blink, sorry, not blink, this LED glows. The point. Draw the circuit diagram taken. Figure shows a simple touch sensor. Figure shows a simple touch sensor which indicate the touch output, the glowing of LED, that is, if a LED glows, it means that if LED glows, it means that the robot had a touch. If LED glows, it means that the robot had a touch. Next point right now. The circuit operation is very simple. The LED is applied with anode voltage. The LED is applied with anode voltage, and we are controlling the LED, with the help of cathode voltage. Comma and continue. We will get anode voltage greater than cathode voltage. We will get anode voltage greater than cathode voltage, or the closing of circuit, if base to emitter junction become forward bias. If base to emitter junction become forward bias. Full stop and continue. This is possible. Full stop and continue. This is possible if a touch happen if a touch happen at the contact point. This is possible if a touch happen at the contact point shown in figure. This is possible if touch happen at the contact point shown in figure. This much is enough. Quickly I am moving to the analog type of touch sensor. Actually I wanted to discuss only one. Anyhow you can discuss two or three. Okay, type of complex touch sensors, which we are also calling as analog touch sensor. So one is tactile sensor, another one force torque sensor, and there are many more. Okay, if you have taken this thing, then we will move to next slide. A tactile sensor. It is actually a device that measures information, that is touch related information, from physical interaction with its environment. So this is actually modeled after the human biological sense, which is based on cutaneous touch, according to which the stimulation resulting from mechanical stimulation plus temperature plus pain collectively bring together and give information in the form of some threshold value. So the one which is shown here, a human hand touching a ball. See, it is getting information about the touch from various places of hand and going to the sensor, maybe in order to diagnose that which finger is having problem, the muscle, which muscle finger is having some problem. So that type of information we can very easily get from tactile sensor. You see, it is actually not containing only one sensor, one analog sensor, but it is containing array of analog sensors. You will see in this there are 5 provisions of inputs going to the transducer. Are you able to observe that? You see 5 different, one from the thumb, the other from the center finger, the pointing finger, whatever, from 5 different fingers, 5 different sensor information are going into the transducer and getting the information which is as a result of mechanical stimulation plus temperature plus pain, if any, and this is actually not going in single value, but it is going in the form of array. The one which is shown here in this figure is containing 5 different sensors. So array 1, array 2, array 3, array 4, and array 5, each containing different values of analog force information. So if you want, you can take this text. Otherwise, we will give you a copy, video of this thing. You can note later also. But I suggest you to note down right now. Let us quickly answer to the question asked by one of you. Before going into this, I'm sorry for that. Before going into that thing, let us quickly give you an overview of machine learning. Overview of machine learning. Anybody having any idea about machine learning? The future is machine learning. Sensors are also going to make use of this technique. It's very simple. Machine learning, everybody know. Every human who is having intelligence know about the concept of machine learning. Example, if suppose I ask you a question, okay, using a data, then you will quickly answer to it, even though you have not done any preparation for that. The reason is your system is actually trained to answer to that type of input. So human system is actually making the model using data, taking data and a model, making a model. This model can be used in order to make some intelligence detection operation. If suppose a human kept in a closed room, okay, for 10 years, and after that if we bring him out, then you will find he will be behaving in different way, not as the normal human being, because he has not gone through the training which normal human being used to. Every day, every minute, we are getting some training. We are learning from our experience, from our environment, from our elders. Every time our system is learning. Accordingly, if sometime there is a need to get test, then our system is accordingly giving the result. Exactly in this way, if suppose we want to make some system, some intelligent system, then in that case we need to take the help of machine learning. Let us go to next thing, how machine learning based system get trained. What we will do is, as I told you, we want to make a model, okay, by giving input as data. So what we will do is, data suppose is represented with X and output is represented with Y, and the system model is represented with some H. So we need to make the model H by giving the training set X and Y. Give training set X and Y sum. Suppose we have test inputs x1, y1, so on up to x n, y n. All inputs and corresponding output we cannot collect. Few we can collect. This is समझ लो. So the touch information and the corresponding output. Okay, the corresponding output from a sensor we are collecting. Collected for two cases. One is with pain, another is without pain. Without pain, suppose the set is like this: x11 comma y11, so on up to xn1 comma yn1. Train this system with both sets of input. What we will do is we divide this data into three parts. This data is divided into three parts. First is training, the second is validation, and the last one is testing. Training, suppose this data is actually 100 samples. So what we will do is we take here 75% for training and 15% for validation, and remaining कितना बच गया भाई 10% for testing operation. Okay, तो जब क्या बन जाएगा, we will get this H model. That H model can be included in our touch sensor, which is able to extract the detection of pain operation. बिल्कुल simple. Pain related data, if input appears, that it is able to diagnose it or sense it and say that this particular data is containing pain. Or if the data is without pain, because our system is already trained with pain related data, and without pain related data, rigorous data is used in order to train the system. If that model is included in our sensor, then that sensor will be able to give you information regarding the pain also. Okay, this we have seen. The next one is force or torque sensor. It's very simple sensor. it actually did, it's like our strain gauges. Okay, strain gauges, but only few strain gauges we cannot use. Instead we will use so many strain gauges. In order to understand this force of torque sensor, please see this video. Placed in between the flange and the robot tool and effector, she is able to detect force that is applied. If suppose we don't use this thing, there is a chance that more force will be applying by the robot on the object, or there is a chance that we will be applying lesser force on the object. That's the reason, in order to have the exact force to be applied on the object, we need to make use of this type of force of torque sensors. Okay, that's the principle. Internally, it is making use of some strain gauges with the help of which the force information can be converted into electrical signal. Please take down this information.